Welcome to Toby's Glue Bomber Circus. If you're enjoying the channel, please consider giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel. Would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to the circus. This is Toby's Glue Bomber Circus, but as you can see here, we're looking at two models by Monogram. Well, actually one was by Revell and the other one was by Monogram a long time ago. The Circus Wagon and the Dragon Wagon. And obviously, as you can tell, the Circus Wagon and the Dragon Wagon are pretty much the same kit. However, there are some minor differences between the two, and we'll start by looking at the box. But before I move on to that, you might notice this. This is my latest sticker that I have, and that is Toby's Glue Bomber Circus. And you've probably seen this other things before because we have the dragon there, and you can probably guess what inspired the dragon on here. You know, the little dragon that is messing around with a bunch of purple paint. Yeah, it was the Dragon Wagon. This is one of my favorite kits of all time. Great kit by Tom Daniel. I have been trying to get one of the original Dragon Wagons for the longest time. I had two as a kid. Then the kit basically disappeared, and what happened was the Hangman. Yeah, the Hangman. You can tell right away that it is very similar to the Dragon Wagon. Just look at the front suspension. If you look at the frame of the body, everything about this thing says Dragon Wagon. Even the engine is the same engine. It's got the same grill up front, just different headlights, things like that. And this is something that Monogram was doing. You have to understand that the molds that made these kits were very expensive to make. So if they could repurpose a mold, then they could save quite a bit of money on the tooling. And that's what they did. They looked at the Dragon Wagon and decided to retool it into something else. Now, the Hangman is also a Tom Daniel design. So yeah, Tom was very much involved with, you know, how can I take this kit and make something new out of it? And this is what he came up with, which is pretty cool. But you can definitely see a lot of similarities. The seats, the front hood, the front radiator, the same tires, that front suspension, the rear end is all the same. The engine is the same, just different pipes, things like that. And obviously you've got the cab there. And the Hangman was also a very popular kit, but I don't know if it was as popular as the Dragon Wagon. And when the Hangman came out, I bought quite a few of those. And I remember when I bought them, I sent a note to Monogram saying, "Hey, I saw the Hangman. That is really cool. Is there any chance that you're going to be re-releasing the Dragon Wagon anytime soon?" And I got a note back from them basically saying, we do not see a reason to release the Dragon Wagon again. It was fine at one time, but there's really not much interest in it anymore. Well, I beg to differ, and eventually we see that things did change. And the song and dance really was caused because Monogram destroyed the Dragon Wagon when they made the Hangman. They changed the mold. And fortunately, when the Hangman came out, I bought more than one copy of it because I was hoping to be able to do my own reverse engineering and build a Dragon Wagon out of a Hangman. Anyway, Revell, in their infinite wisdom, decided to come back with a Circus Wagon. And there's a lot of people are saying, well, why did they change the name? Why didn't they just keep it Dragon Wagon? That is also a question that really irked Tom Daniel, because Dragon Wagon, it was a play on word. Dragon, as in drag racing. That's where the dragon came from in there. Circus if you read the stuff on the side here, they still talk about dragging and everything, as in drag racing, but it's called a circus wagon here. And that is purely because of Revell, or maybe Mattel, one of the two. But what it came down to is either Mattel, Revell, or Monogram, or somebody had the trademark for Dragon Wagon. Tom Daniel did not have the trademark for Dragon Wagon, and they refused to allow the kit to be re-released under the original name Dragon Wagon because they were using it for something else. So it became the Circus Wagon, the 10th wonder of the world, versus the Dragon Wagon, 10th wonder of the world. The only real difference between these two is circus versus dragon. If you notice the coloring in the letters, it's the same. The C and the D are green. C first letter, second letter, third letter, fourth letter, fifth letter, sixth letter. All of them are the same colors. You go green, red, yellow, blue, orange, purple for the colors on there, and then the wagon is the same. Different font. This has a much cooler font. But the artwork, for the most part, is exactly the same. This one's a little bit larger on the box because of how they've decided to do it. There's no white frame here. So you have the picture going all the way to the edge. You have Tom Daniel's signature on there. But this is Tom Daniel's original artwork on the box. Now, a Dragon Wagon box will either have the kid building a model. Let me show you this. There's two different boxes for the Dragon Wagon. One of them, let's go here. See the kid building the model? You will either have that one on the box, and that is the one that you will see on the Circus Wagon. But there is also, some of them will have the Monogram quality hobby kits and then the Mattel symbol where the kid is. So you'll either see one of those two on a Dragon Wagon box. Now, the sides are different. As you can see here, this is the Dragon Wagon, this is the Circus Wagon. The Circus Wagon has all those features on there that they always talk about, and you notice it's in various languages, and you do not have this information on the side here. The corner pieces are pretty much the same, but if you notice, the dragon is different. It's a different style of dragon on both ends of the box. And also notice the sides. This is all green now. This still has all the colors. It's a fire breather, and then different information here. Ages 10 and up. They weren't worried about the ages or anything there. Also notice PC 228 versus 834263. Different model number. This is where you see a difference. Dragon Wagon and to haul your wagon dragon. And you have the picture of the dragon on there. This part looks about the same, but a different dragon. And you have Tom Daniel's drawing of his baby dragon. That's the really cool thing there. That's there so you can see how you can paint the dragon. You know, you see the yellow on the back, white teeth, red eyes, so on and so forth. And the yellow fins going down the back. Nice green scaly body. And you got the back view of the Dragon Wagon there. But on the Circus Wagon, oh, I'm sorry, that picture is over here on the Dragon Wagon. On the Circus Wagon, it's on the side that had this. And then you go to the other end and it's lined up correctly. Everything is, see how it is. One of them has the image the other way. Any case, that's the difference in the boxes. So there's some definite significant differences in the box. You're not going to be able to just kind of change this out and make it look like a Dragon Wagon. The font's all different and everything else. So they're definitely different boxes. Okay, let's go to the kit itself, and we're going to see a major difference right away in the kit. This is the Circus Wagon, and you can see right there a nice bright lemon yellow. It will say copyright 2009, all rights reserved, made in China, Revell Incorporated, all rights reserved, made in China. This is the Dragon Wagon. And now it'll say copyright. It does not give a date. Monogram Models Incorporated, all rights reserved, made in USA. But the big difference, and you can spot that a mile away, is the different shade of yellow that you're dealing with. Can you see it there? I mean, it is very different. This is a nice lemon yellow. This is almost an orange. It's an orange yellow color. And it's really what I liked a lot about the original Dragon Wagon, because of that shade of orange, or orangey yellow. I really did like that quite a bit. Also, parts are in different places on here. You can see this is where the engine was. So that part is like that, right? Going down to here, that's where that is sitting. However, it's not the same on here. This is a separate part now for the sides that have the bent bars. And what you'll notice when you're looking at this is the lion's head or tiger's head on here. It is definitely a crisper, cleaner print on the Dragon Wagon. You can definitely notice it right away. This is not bad, don't get me wrong. This is really clear and nice, but it's not as clean cut as what you have on the older Dragon Wagon. And that is because, from what I understand, this was actually, I think they ended up cutting the mold from an actual kit as opposed to the original, the original mold was destroyed, so they had to make a new mold. Also, you'll notice right here, this is not the original shifter. The original shifter was the tiger tail shifter. The person has already painted that black. I will have to repaint it if I ever decide to use it. I will end up building this Dragon Wagon eventually as well. Also, notice the bars. Notice how wide that bar is. If I can get it here. Notice how wide the bar is. It is not the same width. Can you see it there? See how the bend in the bars are? They're not the same. They're definitely different. These bars are also thicker than the original bars. They're thicker. These are nice and thin. These are a thicker bar. And they have more bend in there, so to more easily get the dragon in there. It's not as snug a fit. So you will have some differences in the kit. This one doesn't have quite the same level of detail that the original Dragon Wagon does. I'm not complaining, trust me. The big difference is, wow, that yellow. That is a significant change in yellow. To the point that I bought this. This is, Tamiya's rattle can. I think they call it camel yellow. And that is about the closest spray can I saw to match this monogram orange yellow that the original Dragon Wagon came. So that's the color I'm going to eventually end up painting this version of the Dragon Wagon. I want to go with this shade, the camel yellow, instead of the bright lemon yellow. Now, I already mentioned the difference in the this is the oil can shifter from the Hangman. It doesn't have the tiger tail shifter. The other difference is the Dragon, and this is truly a significant difference. The original Dragon came in two pieces, as you can see here. 1, 2, left side, right side. When you snap it together, you'll notice there's a big hole in the bottom. That was a problem I had with it when I was a little kid even. It's like, why did they leave this big gap on the bottom? You can't really see it much, but you can actually kind of sort of see it even when it was in the cage, which bothered me a little bit. Also, the foot is not flat on one side, but that's not a problem either. He sits in the cage okay. You got the little devil's tail there with the little point on the bottom. You got the the fin going along the top, which is okay too. More detail on one side than the other. This side is very flat. This side is a little more detailed. And that's the way it was, I think, mainly because of the capabilities of molding back then, and the fact that the fin is only molded on one side of the dragon. But the real problem I had with it is no teeth. He has no teeth. He's going to gum his prey, except for right up here. He's got one tooth there, and then 4 across the top. But he's got those nice big old frog eyes, and he's got his flared nostrils, which looked really good as a kid, and I still like those. Got the little fins up here on the side here, and sort of some on his arms, but not well defined. And that's the problem with it also. The fingers are not defined on the front paws because, well, it's the way it was molded. The new dragon is in 6 parts. So you have the 2 body halves, and if you notice, now the fins are on both sides, not just one side. You line up those fins, snap him in place. You've got the little devil's tail there, the little pointy tail at the end, which is pretty cool. The detail of the face is really quite nice, but it's not the same as the original dragon. The eyes are not quite as bulbous, but they are there. They're nicely formed, and the nostrils are leaning back a little more. He's got a little bit more of an overbite. His lips sticks out a little further than what you have on here. Notice the difference in the flared nostrils. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But there you see it. The nostrils don't flare quite as much, but you got that big mouth full of teeth. You got 2 up front, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom there, but you got a whole row on both sides, which looks really cool, versus a mouth with no teeth. So that's part of it, but then you also have new hands going on and new feet. You've got the back paw, left and right. You glue those in place, you know, where you're going to need to put them. Let me grab one. So when you finish it up, you know, you've got the spikes going down the back. You got his paws in place, and you've got nice detail on those claws and everything. You don't have that with the original. See the difference in that hand? So, and that is well, let me zoom in. I'm going to have to zoom in for a while. There you go. See the difference in those hands. See the difference in that mouth. Yeah, there's a lot more you can do with that mouth. There's a lot more you can do with the hands. They look a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. And there is a lot of detail there. This has a lot of detail too, but I think the improvement on the dragon was really dramatic over the years. And that's really, also no big hole in the bottom. You still have a dent, but it's not nearly as problematic as what you have in the earlier dragon with the, well, big old belly that's missing. I know there's going to be plenty of people who will like the old dragon better. And I like having an old dragon, but I tell you, it would take a lot of effort to get those hands to look as good as these hands. So that's the bottom line. And that mouth is definitely a whole lot better with a bunch of teeth in it. So that's really the biggest difference between them. That and the shocking lemon yellow versus the earlier orange yellow. So if you're wondering, there's more differences between these two kits than just the box. Hope you enjoyed looking at the Circus Wagon versus the Dragon Wagon, and I will talk to you again soon.
Thank you for visiting Toby's Glue Bomber Circus. Really do appreciate you dropping by. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to leave a comment, give us that thumbs up, and consider subscribing to the channel. Hope to see you back soon. Thanks again for dropping by.